whatever. But be honest about it and say, I'm sorry you had that experience, or yeah, our product sometimes screws up, sorry about that, we'll send you a new one, or whatever it is. But be prompt and be transparent about it.
I also like a site where I can return things without having to get an RMIA, go through a customer service group, and it's preferable if I've got free return shipping. I know I'm paying for that up front, but we're all busy. I don't have time to go and drop something off at a post office. It's worth it to me. If it doesn't work, turn it around, send it back, not have to deal with anyone, and quickly replace it. And I frankly don't even mind if the free shipping is based. If I'm returning it for a refund, they charge you shipping, that's fine. But if I'm getting a replacement, that's something I look for.
Okay.
And again, it's a time constraint. We're all busy.
Good point. Good point. All right. So we've had a pretty good discussion now about retailers in general and e-commerce sites and some of the aspects of service that could be important when we're looking at e-commerce. Now I'd like to change the conversation over to talk a little bit more about beer specifically. This is, in fact, a company that will be making beer, so that's a good topic for us. Okay. So I want to start by just talking a little bit about, where do you go to purchase beer when you're purchasing beer? Let's just sort of go around, sort of a quick, we'll start over here and go that way across the table.
We live in Mukwonago. We have a great little liquor store that has great selections. If I'm looking for something out of the ordinary, I'll go down there.
Is that where you also go for the ordinary, or is it?
No, ordinary is probably just the grocery store.
Okay. Okay, good to know.
So the ordinary part is, if you're buying groceries, the ordinary is Walmart or the grocery store. If I'm making a liquor run for having people over, I'm going to the liquor store. That's what you do.
Okay. Well, and when you have people over, it's a different kind of beer altogether. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, normally drink not plain beer, right?
Okay.
But if I'm going to be at the grocery store buying groceries anyway, if I'm there for getting bread and Doritos, I'm going to grab the liquor one there. If, however,
Bread,
I've already got
Doritos,
those things
beer,
and they just need more beer, I'm going to go to the liquor store. That's my problem. It's functional quality.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I don't think there's a retailer in the city I haven't been to. I think most of my, probably if I have, well, it depends, I guess, but if I'm buying mass quantities of beer, if I'm buying a lot of beer, for some reason I'll go to a relatively mass market liquor store, a Riley's or a Trixie's Liquor, or something like that. But more often than not, I'm looking for a single bottle of something. I want to buy a 750 or a 22 of a Belgian or a sour or whatever, and so I'll go to a far more specialty retailer, a Star, a Barriques, something like that, and look for places where I know they have a selection in the specific style that I'm looking for.
Okay. Okay. So someplace where they specialize in a particular area that you're trying to hit that
Right. Like I know I can go to Barriques and get good Belgian beer. I know I can go to Star and get good American beers. I know I can go, to some of the other places and know they have good IPA selections, and so I can find places around that I know kind of specialize in certain areas and go and get what I'm looking for there.
All right, good to know.
I probably shouldn't answer this question.
No, go ahead and answer.
I'm on the board of advisors of Capital Brewery, so part of my board compensation is beer.
So they just give you beer.
However,
Yeah, but then you have to drink.
I was going to say, it's a good gig if you can get it, right? It's a good gig if you can get it.
and then when I travel, I try to find something unique. But if I'm buying local, it's either at the grocery store or at Barriques, and even those are rare occurrences. So.
Well, and when you're traveling and you're trying to find something unique, is that you're going to liquor stores for that, or you're going to a pub? You're looking for
could be either. I mean, my last trip to Colorado, we were just trout fishing and sent my wife out and said, ask around and see what's good, and she came back with some real winners. So you know, it's just trying something new. You know, you may have a certain type that you're looking for, but I'm always wanting to try something different.
Okay.
So,
I tend to use a local liquor store because it's really close and they have a really wide selection. But that's just proximity.
Okay. Okay. So convenience is key in this.
Yeah, and they've got, you know, everything from your run-of-the-mill Miller Lights, etc. to
Okay, so they've
some
got-
really craft stuff.
All right. Good deal. So wide selection, fairly convenient. So it works both.
Yeah.
I'm in Madison Woodman's, just on a cost basis, and they get a pretty good selection. But back home, we're seeing the liquor store with the best selection for like a pick six to try to sample a bunch of different things. There's 2 of them in town that have a great selection, so I go there.
I tend to go to the liquor store in town, Barrique's or Brennan's. I'm usually looking for microbrews.
Ah, okay. Okay. Usually looking for micro.
Yep.
All right. So, that's good to know. And
My answer changed as I was listening to other people. When I started out thinking
That can happen.
the same way Jeff did, I tend to buy. I'm in the grocery store if I just want some beer for home. I'll pick it up at the grocery store. If I'm looking for something for a party, I'll come to the liquor store near here. I used to live right next door. But I also, if I'm out of town, I'm always looking for local beers, which is consistent with what you were saying. But if I want my favorite beer, I will go to McFarland to get it. There's a liquor store in McFarland that carries the beer that I like. So I find myself, if I'm close, running out there.
okay. Okay. And when you say you're looking for the local beers, again, is that you're looking in the liquor stores for local beers, or are you going to be going to pubs to see if you can find the local beers?
I do most of my beer drinking in the bar or in a restaurant. I don't
Okay.
drink a ton of beer at home. So yeah, I mean, it's usually in a pub and looking at the taps, picking something that I haven't tried before, preferably something local.
All right. Now I'd like to ask about wine or beer clubs. Is there anybody here who's been a member of any sort of wine or beer club in the past?
What do you mean by wine or beer club?
I mean,
Mail order?
Like a mail order beer club?
yeah, where they send you stuff. So once a month you get a shipment.
I have.
I
Okay.
have.
We'll start over here and work this way.
What are you looking for from the experience? I mean, it's like anything. There were some really good months, and there were some ones. that-
Okay, well that's good to know. That's part of it. Well, how did it work? The club that you
It
were
was actually given to me as a 40th birthday present. So it was basically a mixed case of beer a month.
in? In this case,
A mixed
beer month.
case of beer a month. Holy
Yeah.
cow, that's a lot of beer.
Yeah.
Good friend.
Nice.
That's how you can tell people love you, right? You know, you do that.
You know, it was hit and miss, and some of the beers you'd heard of, some you hadn't. It was kind of fun. I mean, it was like Christmas morning. You
Yeah.
open it up and go, "Oh, this is
What do you do with
great."
a case
Or,
of beer that you don't?
you know, I've been on a fair number of boards, and we'd have board meetings at my house for other
Yeah.
entities in Madison, and it was always good to pull out the ones I wasn't real fond of and
Give them to Kirby.
to pass them around.
So the being surprised by what you got was actually
Oh,
kind of a fun
absolutely,
element of it?
yeah.
Okay.
You know, with that said, I wish you had more of an option to pick a certain type of beer, because you know you'd get a mixture that was hitting all ends of the spectrum. And even if you could tailor it, say, you know, I wanted, you know, pills or something like that, you could get, you know, 6, 12 different, you know, suppliers. It would be great. But, you know, that's one of the ways I would suggest improving the club that I participate in.
Okay.
Because, you know, like, I'm not a big wheat beer fan, and so, you know, I'd hate to see a case of beer show up and I've got a ton of wheat beer.
Well, we
That's
gotta
one
bring
of
this
those-
to a meeting.
Yeah, this
All
is
right.
a meeting gift. So.
All right. Good to know.
I haven't been.
Oh. No. Did you?
I was just as a gift for a birthday wine club. Actually, Barrique's. I think it was 6 months. You have to stop by and pick it up. Bottle of red wine. It was a nice
okay.
experience. I'm not a huge wine drinker, so I've probably opened 2 of them so far. But,
So this was through a liquor store.
yeah,
where you
Barrique's.
pick it up?
You know what Barrique's is? Barrique's is
I'm not
a
sure.
coffee shop / liquor store.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
What's the
it's a real nice wine selection.
It's a nut brown
Okay.
of some sort.
It was a nice experience, but you know, it wasn't a perfect gift for me because I don't do a lot of wine.
Okay. How long did you have it?
6 months it just ended.
And the beer club you had?
Nut brown.
For a year?
Yeah,
Okay.
thanks.
Now, did you consider renewing it?
I actually would have.
That's good, thanks.
It just ended at the wrong time. I was in the process of moving and starting our company and a
Okay.
lot going on. So
Okay.
it's one of those things I regret because, you know, it was fun. And it wasn't, I didn't consider it outrageously expensive.
Okay. Seemed somewhat reasonable considering what you were getting.
Yeah.
It's fun. Okay. And had you considered continuing?
I considered giving it as a gift for someone who likes red wine, but for me it wasn't, you know,
You'd
I
mentioned
just
you
enough
don't
for
drink
and left, so.
Out of 6
Yeah, I'm
months.
good. I'm good.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Um,
We've had like, we have Case Club memberships at a couple of wineries,
Oh,
but that's, I
okay.
mean, we go and pick what we want. But what you said reminded me of several shoe clubs that are really popular, where they send you different shoes every month.
I have not heard of
But what they do is,
Cover your ears.
I was gonna say I'd make a gender-specific comment, but
Well, now. This sounds interesting.
yeah,
you
no,
take,
absolutely.
I think you could absolutely apply it to beer. You take a profile questionnaire, you know, what heel type do you normally wear, what fabric do you like this, what colors, brights, neutrals, you know, and you go through this whole thing and it tailor makes shoe wardrobes for you and will send you shoes according to what you said you wanted. So
That's smart.
yeah, if you're gonna do it for beer, obviously, you know,
Yeah.
what do you prefer to drink? What don't you like at all? You know, that sort of
Which
stuff.
kind of fits in with what he was talking
Right.
about.
Do you go seasonally? Do you like darkers in the winter and lighters in the summer? You know, that sort of stuff.
Mm.
And you could absolutely do a sort of case club or membership that way.
Okay.
Sort of a